Hello and welcome to Second Amendment Sis. I'm Steffanie Rivers and you're watching me as well as my co-host Phyllis Petit. Hey Phyllis, how are you? We're having audio problems with Phyllis. So while Phyllis is working on her audio problems, we want to let you know that this is our special edition. Hey, I think I hear something. Are you there,
hear me?
Phyllis?
You
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Oh,
So how's it going?
It's been a rough day of computer issues. I swear to you.
But
I'm good now. I'm good now.
But we're here. So welcome to the live edition of Second Amendment Sis, and welcome to the podcast where we discuss all things concerning the 2A community from a woman's perspective. And so, Phyllis, I always like to tell them that we're not attorneys, but we are practitioners, and we focus on education and other information from our perspective and those of our guests. So we are live streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitter, as well as LinkedIn. So a lot of people like that we are doing this podcast. We just started a couple of weeks ago. It's probably our anniversary. So happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. That time has gone by so fast.
It does. So we want to welcome our viewers to the conversation from whichever platform that they're finding us. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when we post the videos, you'll be the first to know. If you are a part of the 2A community, in your local area, you probably have been searching for a way to connect to 2A advocates in the Black community nationwide. And so Calibr magazine could be what you're looking for. It could be the missing link in the 2A community chain. And this is the premier edition of Calibr magazine. So we have with us today a special guest. She is the executive editor of Calibr, and so her name is Gwen Witherspoon, and she is here with us today. So we want to welcome our guest to the show. Welcome, Gwen. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thanks for having me, and congratulations on your anniversary.
Thank you. Thank
you.
Yes.
And congrats on the magazine. It looks great. It's awesome, and I love it. And so we're happy to have you on. We wanted to talk with you more about what it took to get this into a real space, because a lot of people have been thinking this magazine's time has come, and but sometimes it's like it's a thought, and then what did it take to make it go from an idea to a real tangible magazine that we could touch and read?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I have, the quick history, my own personal history is I got my BA in graphic design, and then I spent 30 years in marketing communications, probably every possible discipline, and took a deep dive into digital in 2012 and 2013. And I feel like everything I've done up to this point has prepared me for this moment, But back in 2017, I I started trying to build my own magazine. And as a designer, I've always loved publications like that. I just, consume them for all kinds of reasons, right? But I love the design. I love writing because I love words. And, in high school, I was all about my English classes. And so
Mhm.
everything about magazines has always been really exciting to me. And somewhere in the back of my heart and mind and soul, I've always wanted to have my own. But I started playing with that idea in 2017. And once I learned something, everybody, watch out because I'm gonna share it with everybody. So I figured out a
Mhm.
way that I thought was smart for doing it now. And I think the other key part of this story is that I learned how to do graphic design when it was still done by hand. So
Okay.
that makes me feel like a real dinosaur, but it really wasn't that long ago. But I think the Macintosh was coming out for graphics just as I was
Oh wow.
graduating.
Mhm.
But I have a perspective because of that. And that perspective is that back then, in order to do a magazine like this, it was not something that you could do by yourself. It wasn't something you could do as an individual. It wasn't even something you
Mhm.
could imagine. So the fact that technology has advanced to the point where now we can make one of a book, that has always been fascinating to me. So once I discovered I started creating my own magazine concept, and then I realized I was trying to sell the idea to all my clients and I think there were about 5 different groups that I was communicating with and trying to tell them that you need your own branded publication. Right.
Mhm.
And 2 of them went off and did it without me, and then one of
Oh.
those was Philip Smith, the president and founder of the National African American Gun Association. And so my husband
Mhm.
is former Army, he's a veteran, and he loved everything about NAGA, everything about um, advocating for the Second Amendment rights of African Americans, everything about training and safety. And I mean, he's still trying to get me to do dry fire drills in the house and
Oh
walking around.
yeah.
He making me carry in the house so I get used to it. So he's hardcore.
Right?
But so he took me to my first NAGA meeting, and I have to say, even though I had absolutely zero interest or exposure to firearms at all, I went to that first meeting and I was so impressed with their tradition of Black arms, teaching us the history. It was just all felt so secure and fabulous. And I was like, oh my God. I started calling everybody. I called my girlfriends, about 20 of them that night. There was a ladies' day the next day, and I said, "Oh, you guys got to come with me." Called my sister, told her, "You got to take my 16-year-old niece to the firing range," and all of that. But
Mhm.
one of the things that we did when we walked through the door was we told Phil, "NAGA needs its own magazine," and so
Yeah.
it took 4 years, 4 years and multiple conversations, but finally, middle of last year, he came back and we started talking about doing it for real. But this time what I recommended was not that it just be a magazine for NAGA and its members, but that it would be a magazine focused on the firearms lifestyle for African Americans, and that we would go after the 17 million African Americans in this country who have basically indicated that they would be willing to purchase a firearm even if they didn't, already. And then we
Mhm.
know that in 2020 during the pandemic, we're the fastest growing segment of the audience. We were buying firearms as a much faster rate than anyone, and Black women were leading
Mhm.
Right?
that charge. So, and
Yeah.
then NAGA's membership, about 70% is all brand new gun owners. And so we decided we would do Calibr as a firearms lifestyle publication. And, Phil said yes. And so then that gave us the opportunity to jump right in. I have my own branding agency. So NAGA hired our agency to publish the magazine. And my husband is a 40 plus year photographer. And so
Oh.
literally we just jumped out and we birthed a baby. So it's been great. It's been. Do I look tired? Because
No,
maybe
you do not.
maybe you can't see the bags behind the glasses, but yeah. And so we built the whole thing from scratch in less than 3 months.
Oh
I mean,
wow.
Wow.
less than 3 months. So yeah. So when you saw that magazine hit your mailbox, it had been literally hot off the presses. You should have felt it.
I did. And you know what? So a lot of people might not, prefer a real copy, but they, can go online and see it. And I think that's also a plus that they can read it online as well as, get the periodical.
Well,
So, them
well, let me tell you.
for
Well, let me tell you about that though. So Print is the fastest growing niche print magazines is the fastest growing segment of the publishing industry. So we know print is dying, nationwide for many publications, but small niche groups and niche audiences love having print. And so we knew
Yes.
that this audience, print was important. So that's why we started there. Man, I love that you mentioned the digital. So we do have a digital option on our website. However, it is absolutely not the same content. So you
Oh
need
yeah.
no, so you will have a different experience based on we. And so when I say how tighter I am, I feel like I've given birth to triplets. We've actually launched 3 platforms at the same time. We launched the
Oh,
print magazine, which you have in your hand. We launched Calibr Digital on our website at calibrmag.com. CALIBR. We left the E out on purpose. CALIBRmag.com. And then the big deal is the community. So when you talked about your audience being able to connect possibly with Calibr throughout the country, that's the point. We want you to join Calibr community so you can connect and share your firearms lifestyle with other people across the country, who are interested in the same thing as you and who may look like you as well. And so I like to say we're telling your story in Calibr magazine and print. We're sharing more of the story at Calibr Digital at calibrmag.com, and community.calibrmag.com is where you can share your story.
oh,
Right.
okay, great.
So you know what? I know a lot of people when they think about a media as it pertains to the 2A community, they think about the NRA, National Rifle Association,
Yes,
and there has been that has been the premier group that represented the 2A community and proponents
yes.
until it became too politically divisive. What lessons is Calibr taking from the NRA's fall from grace? Are you planning to be to stay in the lifestyle arena? Are you planning to do more political pieces, or to let, because when in for the black community, a lot of issues that affect us in the 2A community are political or could be seen as political.
Yeah. Well, and so we cover basically firearms, family, business, and politics. And but we're covering it from this broad lifestyle perspective. And so we will weigh in on political issues. But what we're trying to do, because Black people are not a monolith, we don't all think the same way, we don't all vote the same way, we're not all part of the same, political parties. We may lean more Democratic for the most part, but however, we're not all Democratic. And then, of course, to be 2A and Democratic at the same time, those are that's a whole nother issue. So for us, it's not about, we don't see ourselves in a political vein in the same way or comparable to the way the NRA has been involved in politics. The National African American Gun Association is not involved in politics in that way. And so the Caliber will not be as well. But that does not mean that we won't talk about those issues. Our goal is that we are like the adults in the room, that we are informing our readers and our audience. We are exposing information from different perspectives and not just going one side versus the other and at each
Mhm.
other. So we almost purposely try to avoid a lot of that, just the normal divisive political talk that we
Mhm.
hear. And we just want this to be the place. We want Calibr, all the platforms, to be the place where you can have thought-provoking conversations, where you can get your questions answered, where you get informed so you can make the decision that you want to make at the ballot box, and that you understand what the issues are in politics, but not that we're not the ones to tell you how to think or how to vote. So you won't see that. As long as I'm in charge, you're not going to see that in Caliber.
So you guys just you definitely focus on remaining neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would call it neutral, but I just think, we're not all of us. I'm a gun owner and I personally vote Democratic, but that doesn't mean that, but I'm also a Christian. So there's issues,
Mhm.
there's issues on all sides. There's, at any given time, who knows how I'm going to vote? I'm going to vote the way that I feel the strongest and that I feel that's most important for me. And so to say that all Black people are this, or all Christians vote this way, or all Second Amendment, advocates vote this way, that's not who
Mhm.
we are. I don't think that's realistic. And
Exactly.
so I feel like what we want to do is just be human.
Well, tell me, for the Caliber magazine, the print version, is it a monthly version or quarterly?
It is quarterly.
Okay.
Lord, don't say monthly. No,
I was just checking, so I
not
won't be
yet.
expecting one every month because you know
Yeah,
we'll be
no, please
looking
don't,
for it.
Lord. No, 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 no. You can't. Yeah, it's quarterly, every 3 months. But and so that's the other thing. What you can look for in and you may have noticed this already, Steffanie. When you go through the print publication, you're going to see a lot of QR codes, and those QR codes are there so you can pull out your smartphone, scan it with your camera, and that will take you directly to Calibr Digital, where you'll get more of the story. You'll get additional
Oh,
content.
awesome.
But what we're going to be doing, because the print is
Yeah, right.
quarterly,
So,
every month you're going to be able to scan those codes and it's going to take you to something different.
Oh,
So
okay.
we
okay.
so
So
we
the
want to
digital
refresh that
version is
content.
monthly. What the
Huh?
digital version has monthly updates then,
Yes, there will
but the
be
print.
monthly updates,
Okay.
exactly. So you'll see much more content there as well, and we will, and then of course because digital we have many more opportunities. It'll be probably every week you're going to see something new in some category, uh,
Okay.
but definitely it kind of helps to keep the print relevant and helps to tell more of the story. So we purposely coming out the gate. I was telling Steffanie before we came on, we go out and we have live interviews with every person that we're featuring. That doesn't mean that every article is alive, but if we're talking about a person, we
Mm-hmm.
have been going and doing live interviews with them, and that gives us an opportunity to create this breadth of content and tell their stories in much deeper ways. We want you to know about these people. What did you say to me, Steffanie? You said you liked the lifestyle aspect of it, or the what was that?
Well, I like that it didn't just talk about people and their guns or their weapons. It talked about
Mm-hmm.
there's a chef, there's an article about a chef, there's an article about an artist, and then they've got a lot of designers and the designer
Mm-hmm.
wear. So, people can look at that and say, you know what? I'm into designing, I'm into artistry, I'm into different things like they are, and they,
Mm-hmm.
are
Yes.
two-way people. So it connects us because, like you said, we're, it doesn't, a lot of people think, oh, people who are into self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
that's all they think about. They've got blinders
Mm-hmm.
on, and we're not. That's an aspect of our lives that we think is important, and we give life to it, and we lend we practice it. But just like, we go to church, or you go to the gym, you do go to work, those are things too that we give life to because we think it's important, so they can see. I just think the magazine helps people to see us as real extended people, and not
Yeah.
just in
Yeah.
a one-sided person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like it.
Well, and I was really grateful to hear you say that, because that's what we're trying to do. We want you to get to know the people, and I want you to read about this Frederick Thrasher, the father of the Survival Sisters. I
Yes.
wanted you to know about the vision for this family that he has had, and why has been training his daughters to use firearms. Why these girls have they've got more man hours shooting and learning and running drills and all this stuff and equipment, managing all this equipment. They have more man hours than most of us have been alive. Like
Yes,
they have
they
been,
are awesome.
aren't they amazing? They've been
Yes.
teaching children gun safety since before they could even go to school. And
Mm-hmm.
so we've seen them on social media, and it's fascinating to see it
It
happen,
is.
especially young Black girls. But what I wanted to do was not just focus on the novelty of that, but I wanted you to know about their family. I wanted you to know
Mhm.
why is this man teaching these girls all this stuff? And then
Exactly.
I wanted you to hear from them. How do they feel about it? And when I tell you, if you go to, so you'll read a story about the, the interview that we did with them. It starts out with the interview between Philip Smith and their father, Frederick Thrasher. But when you scan their QR code, it's going to take you to Calibr Digital, where you're going to get their video of their interview. And I
Oh.
love it because we intentionally left in all the little girl sister shenanigans. We wanted you to see these are
Mhm.
girls, they are children, they are sisters, they are young, but they're bad. They are
Yes, they
capable,
are.
they are skilled. And these girls, when you hear them talk about their own lives, it's beautiful. And so I wanted you to hear that and to see them in action. And if you don't notice on the cover, they got glitter on their logo and glitter on their boots. And I'm like, but they're rocking their ARs. And I think
Yes.
the reality is we are all full humans, right?
Yes.
Amen.
And
Yes.
so I wanted you to see that, and we hope that you see that in every story, and that when you see that, it leads you into the community where you get to meet these people, where you get to connect with them, where you get to learn from them. And in the community, there's all kind of other things. We have the ability to do events. We're building an online, like an on-demand training library. So we're doing simple classes there. So this is the place where you come, whether you are experienced and skilled, or whether you just, even before you've even bought your own gun, that's where you
Mhm.
come. And the community, the platform that we're using is going to connect you automatically with people across the country. So it gives you a chance, not only to see yourself, but to find a safe place where you can get the information that that you need to learn about firearms in general. And we have a history as a community, as a just as Black people, we're not new to guns.
No.
We have a strong history. Our
Mhm.
families, my parents grew up, going out to the yard and killing the chicken, going
Indeed.
hunt, like, and we hunted, we've done all these things, but we got away with it when when our families migrated north, and we got
Mhm.
sophisticated. But the reality is, we've been doing it all along. It's just the industry at a certain point took over. And what we have to do is get back to ourselves. And I think also challenging ourselves. I'm a city girl. Like my parents are from the South, but I didn't grow up
Mhm.
anywhere near it. I don't know anything about, chopping off a chicken's neck or breaking his
Ooh,
neck
oh
to have
yeah.
it for dinner. I don't know none about that, right? And but it's been so fun while we're learning about all that the 2A community has to offer. It's been a treat to meet people and to get exposed. I mean, I've been on a fishing boat. I'm eating deer meat, which, Lord, I never thought that would happen. But it's
Did
been
you
really,
like it?
you know what? I At first, I'm a big thing on texture. So at first wasn't feeling that texture, but my husband said he had gotten a piece from somewhere, and uh that was a little coarser, right? It was a lot tougher. So then he
Mhm.
got it from somewhere else, put it in some stew, and it was fabulous. I was slapping that up, right?
Right.
So, what's teaching me though is I think it's so important for us to learn how to be self-sufficient at every
Yes.
level. So whether
Yes.
you may not be super excited, and you may not be the person who's going to stay on a boat all day and just fish no matter what, or you may not be the one that's going to go out and shoot a deer and and prep it in the woods and do all that. You may not be that person. However, for us to expand our experiences, for us to learn more, for us to stretch
Mhm.
ourselves, to challenge ourselves, to learn new skills, I think that's exciting and healthy. And we just want to expose you to all the people. So the first issue, Steffanie, the theme was the outdoor guide, and our goal was to expose Black families to all kinds of outdoor activities and things that we could do outside and get us back outside. And
Mm-hmm.
then this second issue that we're working on now is the theme is the travel planner. We're still talking about the outdoors, but it's more about adventure and experiences. And then our third issue is going to be Law and Order, which I'm actually getting super excited about. I think it's going
Oh.
to be a really wonderful. I mean, we'll talk about the issues with that Black people have with law enforcement, but we're also going to be celebrating our contributions to our law and order, to helping our keep our communities safe, to
Mm-hmm.
our service in the military, all of those things. And then our last issue for the 2012 calendar is going to be, or 2022 calendar is going to be the women's issue. So
Oh.
look, we're excited, and I think too it's been nice to watch how the issues are developing, how they are becoming, right.
Mm-hmm.
You have an idea when you start out about what it's going to be, and then as you get step into the reality of it and actually putting it all together, it's beautiful to watch it just kind of become. And I've described this process to everyone as divine, and it's been amazing that I feel like God has basically said to us, "What do you want?" And He is challenging us every day to just imagine, to think, to dream bigger, and then before we can even realize that we need something, then that person shows up, something happens, and it's just been a really amazing process. And it's just a few of us over here scrambling away,
Mm-hmm.
starting out with a vision. And I love the question you asked to begin with, Steffanie. It is something when you have an idea in your head and then trying to figure out how you actually make that thing a reality. It's amazing. But I think the secret sauce for this whole process, the reason we've been able to do this, is one, because Phil, as the founder of the National African American Gun Association, was working, for 6 years straight, establishing relationships with companies in the 2A industry, in the gun industry, and cultivating those relationships. And so then when it came time to do the magazine was something tangible that they all understood. And it's been
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, to basically just walk into the room, but via Zoom in most cases,
Mm-hmm.
to walk into the room and just talk to them about the idea and have so many so quickly say, yeah, we're in. And they said, we want to be partners with you. We want to work with you in this endeavor to educate, to expose African Americans. And they recognize they need to expand their audience. And so we had 7 that jumped on board with us immediately. And so
Ah.
because of those, that one thing that Phil and his team, the executive board, all those chapters, the NAGA is now over 40,000 members, over
Mm-hmm.
120 chapters in 43 states. And all of the work that all those people have been doing for all these years, that paid off. And so we were able to do the impossible. And it's hilarious. After I delivered the artwork to the printer for the first issue,
Mm-hmm.
Phil actually said to me, "You mean we're on time?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I got to admit it." He said, "I didn't think you could do it." And then once it started shipping and delivering to the members, he said, "Yeah, well, 10 out of 10 people did not believe you could do it." So the reason we were able to, though, is that they had done the groundwork. Phil established those relationships. So when I walked through the door, talked about it, presented the concept, they stepped in and they said yes. So that helped us. But going forward, what's going to
Mm-hmm.
be really critical for us is really getting the community to join Calibr community. And when you do that, that's only $29.99 for the year. And when you
Mm-hmm.
do that, you get the print magazine subscription, you get access to the digital content, and you get access to the community. So you get so much value. And
Mm-hmm.
as we just get all of our, all the wheels rolling, you're going to get more and more and more value. We're packing everything we possibly can into it. And we are getting so much support, so much
Mm-hmm.
positive response. I mean, literally, there's just so much we have to do or that you're going to see coming. We're going to do some really amazing, fun events inside. Our first one is going to be the block party. So we're going to do a virtual block party to
Oh,
invite,
nice.
welcome everybody to the community. And,
Mhm.
we have our partners. We have new partners that are coming on. So it's we're gonna have some fun, and it's beautiful inside the community. When I tell you, when I need a break and just to rest from all of this,
Mhm.
I log into the community and go check out what everybody's saying and do it. And people are so excited, and it's just fun. There's a spirit in that
Yeah.
community that is just beautiful. Steffanie, you joined us.
Yes.
What
I think she's having some technical difficulties because
Yeah.
she's
Okay.
trying to work on it. So you and I are still on. Um, so what I wanted to say is that when I first saw the first edition with the Survival Sisters on front, like
Yes.
me and my girlfriends and my daughter who's 14, we went crazy. It was like, there's a magazine. We didn't know there was a magazine.
Right.
And she came to me. She's like, look, they're on a magazine. And we took our copy and we saved it. We put it right
Oh,
back in. A friend of mine got one for me, and we put it
yeah.
right back in the bag and
I
sealed it
know
up.
there's a lot of people telling me that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to. That's commemorative. You want to keep your first edition of everything, right?
Let me tell you, I have been
Yeah,
hearing that from so many people. I gotta,
yeah.
and when you do something like this, that it's historic. We knew that this has never been done before, and
Mm-hmm.
and so you say that over and over again while you're doing it. You tell the advertisers, "Hey, this is historic," and
Mm-hmm.
our people are gonna really love seeing themselves. This is gonna be important to them.
Yes,
We say that, but then when it's actually done and out in the world and people are really responding the way they have been, it's really mind blowing. I mean,
it is.
on another show, and they said something. They said I was a history making woman. I went, "A what?" Like it's
Yes,
when you,
receive it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I have to soak it in, right? Because it's just been amazing. And to hear people say things like grown men, they're like, I gotta admit, I shed a tear when I saw it. Most
Yes,
people
it
did not
was
know.
emotional. Made
Yeah,
you so super proud. I was so
yeah,
super proud.
yeah. But so it's such a delight to hear that. I mean, it
Mhm.
really.
I
So
was
quick
super, super proud.
quick question. So if people are wanting to bring some, if they have a business and they want to um, advertise, how is that open, or are you just
Yeah,
taking certain types of
no. So when we
advertising?
started, yeah, we went to the larger companies, of course, but because we had such a short period of time to produce everything, we had to focus there. And so and I'll tell you, the section, if you look in the back, did you see the market section? So
Hmm.
initially, the market in the back, I have a copy here. This section in the back was supposed to be, I mean, you've seen this kind of a thing in Essence and
Oh,
other
mhm.
publications
Yes.
where you have a
Hmm.
section in the back where smaller advertisers could get national exposure, and
Yes.
they
Okay.
don't pay as much as the big full page ads up front. And so we were going to have a special section like that. You were going to be able to get a half page ad or a quarter page, in this section over here. But once we got to just before print, we didn't have any small ads because we just didn't have the time. We didn't have the time to reach out. So
Oh,
we ended up turning it into this special section like this, and we love it so much that we're going to keep it. So there are ways for all business of all sizes, even and if the print is still too expensive, we also have digital advertising on the website. But you're going to go to advertise.calibrmag.com, CALIBRMAG.com, and there's a landing page that'll give you the rates for the print. You can download the rate card. And if you're interested in digital, you go to mediakit.calibrmag.com. Eventually they'll be joined together, but just not yet because we hadn't gotten that far. But
hmm.
but yeah, so there are opportunities to advertise. And what I love also is what we're doing is a program called interactive partners. So when you commit to any size ad, for 4 issues, you become an interactive partner. So as we're building our audience, as we're getting exposure and letting everybody know about Calibr magazine, we'll also do digital and digital promotion at no additional cost for those print advertisers. So there's going to be a lot of ways for us to connect at all kinds of levels. But you just have to know that at this stage of the game, our team is so tiny that we're like churning, trying to get those relationships going and talk about what that looks like at every level. But we're even doing partnerships with certified firearms trainers and instructors and doing the courses inside of the community. Eventually, there'll be some premium courses that you can pay for, but as a member, you'd get a discount. But to begin, we'll have a library that's free, that's accessible to everyone who joins.
Wow.
We'll be able to do special events. We'll do special posts. We'll do all kinds of things. So there'll be a lot of ways to connect and partner and advertise and support. And so we're excited about that as well, because our goal ultimately is we want to provide more value to our members more than anything. And then also one of our focuses is on helping to close the wealth gap for African Americans. So any Black companies, especially even helping Black people break into the firearms industry at different levels, we love to be a part of that whole process. And so at whatever level, again, we can't do everything at this point, but there's a lot we can do because we have these platforms. And so however we can mutually work together and benefit those businesses out there, we definitely want to work with you. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities.
Well, we want to one of our online viewers is wanting to get the website addresses again. So I'm going to say
Okay.
this right now. I think
Yes.
you should think about expanding the team because they're coming in. They're like, what is it? What is it again? What is
I
it?
know. Listen, so there's, and let me tell you, follow our social accounts, first of all. So if you go to Calibr Mag, Calibr, no E, MAG, and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you go to those channels. But especially on Instagram, that's the easy one to go to. We've got a link tree there. So the link tree has all of our addresses, all the
Okay.
websites that we have. Because so, like I told you, we want you to have a different experience, or the experience that's appropriate for each of the platforms.
Okay.
So print stories are going to be more well developed and more detailed, right? And then, but you want more of the story. So there on digital, you'll get videos, you'll get shorter content that you can consume on your devices. You'll get other offers. Like we just recorded a product demo, and so you'll get product demos. And everybody that writes for the publication, everybody that's in the magazine forever, does not have to be Black. But at this point, because there's such a void in the industry, our goal is to work with as many Black people that are involved in the 2A industry as we possibly can. And if there's other people that are going to help us and help us train our community, we certainly will be working with them. But if you just go and do a search in any stock library for Black people and guns, you're going to get naked Africans, or or it's going to be presented like we're the criminal element with the gun. And so what we want to do is we want to inject some other imagery into the marketplace.
Okay.
And you know what? That leads me to my question, and that's that Black people with firearms are portrayed as criminals in mainstream media, while
Yeah.
white people with firearms are portrayed as
Patriots.
exercising their
Yep.
Second Amendment rights. It's a narrative that even some Black people
Yes.
developing, it leads them to developing an aversion to getting involved with 2A their 2A rights. how does Calibr address this? And you just mentioned it, so that we can
Yeah.
look forward to more articles and stories featuring um, uh, or focused on that subject.
Mhm.
Well, and so I told you my husband's is a photographer. So
Mhm.
we both came through the door telling Phil that NAGA needed a magazine, but my husband came through the door saying we need to build a library of Black people with using guns, training. I mean everything. And so we're not again, we're a small team, so it's not possible for us to just change the whole world and everything, but we can control those 68 pages that we have, and we can control all those blog posts that we do, and we can control what we put in our community. And so we can shoot as much as we possibly can that's custom for to fill the void when we need an image of some hands demonstrating how to hold a gun. We can take pictures with Black hands. We can
Mhm.
and our advertisers, they have stepped up. And and I joke about the fact that I imagine some of them sitting around their tables after they've agreed to advertise with us and thinking, now where are we going to get some Black people for these ads? uh, and then I had even one of them the other day that he just straight up said, he says, well, we don't have any Black people in our ads. And I said, we know. And so I think it's just
Mhm.
a really beautiful opportunity for them to step up. And there people have made comments about the fact of how important it was to them, even to see some of these major manufacturers, major gun companies have Black people in their ads in a significant way. So I just feel like it's the opportunity and it's the time for us to start seeing that. And we're just going to be doing everything we can from our end and our perspective. And and again, we're all mixed race in so many different ways, and we're all from different
Indeed.
places, and we're all different colors. And but we're going to be the place, we hope, where you're going to see yourself in Calibr magazine.
And
Awesome.
amen. So we have a number of people in the chat and viewers, and if there's anyone who wants to ask Gwen a question personally, you're welcome. I put the link in. We have. I don't want to take up all your time with all the questions, but I know that there might be some other viewers or people in the chat who want to ask a question. So just, you know, uh, uh, let us know. We have about 20 more minutes of her time. What I liked, one of the articles that I liked was about exploring national parks.
Yes.
And, because I agree, a lot of us don't get out as much as we should. And, I hiked up to the top of Half Dome at Yosemite National Park a few years ago, and there were three Black people in the whole park.
Oh,
Me, the Black man I was with, and this guy who worked at the park. And I
yes.
made sure before I asked him, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" I was like, "You work here, right?"
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I work here." I was like, "Okay, where's the restroom?" Because I knew for the next 12 hours or however long it was going to take for us to get to the top of the Half Dome, I
Mhm.
was not going to see another restroom.
Yes.
But so when I saw that part of talking about national parks, and so I have made it my personal goal to each year do at least one major hike a
Yeah.
year.
That's
And
a great
so
goal.
I just think that, a lot of us don't enjoy, outdoors like we should. And so I want to thank you so much for, and then sometimes I think I'm the only crazy person who does certain things and who thinks certain things. And then I read this magazine. I'm like, oh my God, this is my family right here.
My
So
people.
exactly, exactly. So thanks so much
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I want you to know the whole community is so proud of you guys. We were
Oh,
so excited. And when I tell you that publication made it around the internet like wildfire, it was in my feed like 12 times. Like if one
wow.
person sent it to me, seven people sent it to me. And I'm like,
Wow.
should I delete any of this? I was like, nope, I'm not deleting anything. We're gonna keep this train rolling,
Yeah.
But we are so proud of you. And I have went into our Facebook platform, and I posted the link tree link
Yeah.
so that
Oh, thank you,
anybody that
darling.
wants to, you can go on that link,
Yeah.
easy peasy, get
Yeah.
subscribed, get your editions. Let's
Yes.
follow. Either let's get hard copies and digital. Let's
Yes.
get on board and
Listen, the
support.
best thing that everybody could do is just join the community for
Yeah.
$29.99 a year. That gets you everything, and that will help us more than anything. And let me say this too. So the person who asked for the links again, we actually have multiple links because um, we want you to have the experience that you want to have, right? If you want it
Mhm.
all, then join the community and you have access to everything that we do. But if you like, I had, some of our younger members of NAGA, they were like, well, I don't really want to print because I do everything online. Okay, well then just join the digital. You can go
Mhm.
there and see whatever you want. So you go to calibermag.com. That's just the digital version of the website, but it doesn't talk to you about, like, introduce you and tell you about the background and why we're doing this and all that. So we have a landing page for that. So that's introducing.calibermag.com, right? But
Right.
when you get to Linktree, you'll see all of the links. So the short story is the landing page that tells you about what we're doing and why. And
Mhm.
then the story itself is the print magazine. And then you get more of the story on Calibr Digital. And then we want you to tell your story in Calibr Community. So and we know also that that's different, and that everybody is not experiencing the media necessarily that way. And so we have to
Mhm.
train you and teach you where to find what it is you're looking for. But
Yes.
when you join the community, let me tell you, if nothing else, it's entertaining just to watch everybody come in
Exactly.
and put up their profile pictures and what they
Mhm.
tell you about themselves when they fill out their profile. If you put in your city and state, and if you put in your profession, the system is automatically going to show you people that do the same job you do, that live in the same area,
Oh,
and
that's
you can
awesome.
follow people. You can, it's just, oh my God, it's fun. I mean, it is the best time ever. And I had somebody else tell me they didn't really like the interacting on the Facebook pages for the National African American Gun Association, because
Mhm.
they said every time they post something there or someone posts there, there's all these trolls and all these people that are
Oh, yeah.
poised to argue with you. And so she
Mhm.
said she really appreciated that wasn't going on in Calibr Community, right? We're not
Exactly.
all, like I said, we don't all think the same way. We're not all, believing exactly the same thing, but there is this
Mhm.
beauty. Somebody posted that there was a purity in this community. And that was the highest compliment that we could ever get, because that's the place where we can be ourselves, we can talk, and everybody, like I said,
Mhm.
any nationality, other people of color, white people, it doesn't matter who you are. If you are supportive of, or you're all about Black life and protection, you are
Yes.
welcome to join us. So it's not just that it's only Black people. And that isn't even the point. The point is we wanted a space to really celebrate Black life, period. So it's not all about we're getting guns because of white people. We're getting guns because of something somebody did. We're getting guns because
Mhm.
we're afraid. We're getting
Mhm.
guns because we want to protect ourselves. We have a right to own and firearms, and then we also want to just enjoy our lives, all aspects of it. So it's just beautiful to have the response to it all. And
Oh.
so every time a new person joins, it gets better.
So one day, real soon, you're going to be on the front of a magazine, right?
Oh,
So if you had to pick a platform that you would like to be on, so that you could get Caliber magazine out
yeah.
there for everyone to know about, what publication would you choose?
Well, that's so funny because years ago, and I had no way of knowing that I would be doing this, but
Mhm.
years ago, I did a vision board, and I still have it. I did a mock-up of myself on the cover of Essence.
I knew you were going to. Who didn't
Oh
do one
my
of those,
God.
right?
Oh, why wouldn't I?
Yes.
Right? Why
I
would I
was
not
on
do
Jet
that?
Essence.
Yeah.
Steffanie.
Oh yeah. But I have it. I mean, I can send it to you, Stephanie. I got a picture of myself on Essence. I was very happy
Mm-hmm.
about it too. But yeah, that's in my. But I hadn't even thought that far. I'm just so we're right now we're so busy. I mean, just strung out. I have two amazing editors. I have an associate editor, Sandra Stevens, and a digital editor. So when you join the community, Janice is the one that greets you, unless some of our other very zealous, excited community members welcome you first. But they have been just godsends jumping in on this crazy train with me and helping to
Mhm.
pull all this together. Yeah, those are my people. And
Mm-hmm.
but they are helping to make this happen. And when I tell you these women have dived in, I mean, you could not ask for a better team. But this is it. This is us. And my niece, she is a creative intern with us. She's in Anchorage, Alaska, just started her freshman year
Oh
studying
wow.
to get her bachelor of fine art degree. But she has to follow around but try to track down auntie so she can help me. And
Mm-hmm.
she's the most talented human on the planet and learning so much. And so we got her involved as well. But this is it. That's us and my husband as photographer. And he says I don't give him enough shine, and I don't give him
He
enough.
got to shine tonight.
But he said, hey, he was an army photojournalist. So
Oh,
he's been at
awesome.
this a long time. Bought his first camera when he was well. He's old. He's about to turn. Should I tell him?
No, don't do that. Don't
He's
do
about
that
to turn
to
71 on Friday, but he
him.
doesn't look like he's 71, so that's his saving grace. But
Well, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
but yeah, so he got his first camera with what was it? Some kind of green stamps, blue stamps. How you use
Yes.
back in the
Green
day.
stamps.
The
Yeah,
So
we
now
Instagram
all
green
remember
stamp
green
deal.
remember them
stamps.
blue stamps? So he got his first
Yes.
camera. He still has it, but he's been a professional photographer pushing 45, 50 years. And this is what he loves to do. And he loves, loves, loves. I'm telling you, I feel like his official title is the chief evangelist for NAGA. He physically
Mm-hmm.
made me get up out of bed one night and made me go design some cards, some business cards that he can hand to just random strangers, telling them
Mm.
about the organization. And so this is like the biggest thing that he cares so much about it. Yeah, see, he didn't handed it to me. So he had me make these. He literally goes up to strangers in grocery stores and passes these out. Like
I
how
know
to
that's
join,
right. I
yeah,
don't
how to
blame
join
you.
that. And I'm in trouble because I have not created Calibr cards so he could do the same thing. So that's my next project. At some point when I'm not like actually building a magazine, I might have time to do it. But yeah, so we look, this is the labor of love. We are so honored to be able to do this. This is let me see. She says, where do you go to order? Okay, so I'm not answering Wayne's A. Francis's question about these links. So the fastest, quickest, easiest way is to go to community.calibermag.com. That's the quickest way. You're gonna jump in. That'll get you the $29.99. It's a 14-day trial also, so you can jump in and see it all and see if it's really for you before you pay. But yep, that's it. Community.calibermag.com.
All right. So we have just a few more minutes, Gwen, and we again appreciate you. Now, if people want to meet you and the team, are you planning a tour where we can actually meet you in person?
Okay, so did I tell you about the tour? Because
No, you actually have a tour?
girl, so look, what did I tell you? I said God is basically saying, "What do you want?" And so we were
That's
so
ancestral
busy.
covering. That's ancestral covering.
No, real, truly, it's
Yeah.
been like, "What do you want?" And so we had worked so quickly to put all this together, and then we printed it and went straight to SHOT Show in the middle of January in Vegas. And so there was just no time. And I thought, man, we really need to do a launch event for the magazine, but it just wasn't there. And I kept thinking, well, when 2 months down the road you do a launch event, or do you do it 6 months down the road, like the way it was working out. And I just thought, man, it would be ideal if we could get in an RV. I really want Winnebago. I'm trying to get to Winnebago. we
Ah.
If we get and do an RV tour across the country, and
I want one of those so bad.
don't, oh really? See,
I
me
want
too.
one
I
so
want
bad.
girl. I love the
Want
idea.
one
I
so
love
bad.
road trips anyway, and the
Mhm.
idea of having all your stuff everywhere and everything you possibly need and just rolling up, that's thrilling to me.
Yes.
But I thought, we have so many people in our community who purchased firearms in the last 2 years, and many of them purchased those guns and they're probably still sitting in the box and they haven't done
Mhm.
anything. And I thought, what's the next step? What would be the ideal next thing for all of them? And that's for them to be invited to a range somewhere. And so I
Mhm.
want to do a national range day tour, and I'm putting this out in the universe. And
Hmm.
I started, and I haven't even had the time to even sit down and plan out what that would look like. But we started talking to advertisers about it. And I told them
Mhm.
up front, I said, look, we don't know what it's going to take, how much it's going to cost, where we're going to go. We don't know nothing, but I think this is the best way to go, right? Just putting it out there. And
Right.
their response has been so positive. And so I'm not quite sure how we're going to pull it off, but what we really want to do to introduce Calibr, to give people an opportunity to meet the people that we've covered in the magazine, for them to
Mhm.
come out and meet trainers at and try guns, try to be able to shoot different guns from our partners, and for them to connect with people in their area. I can't think
Mhm.
of a better way to launch the whole thing. So we're going to try to figure it out. But yes, we want to
Any
do a tour. That's
any
the
help,
goal.
anything you need from us here at Second Amendment, sis, please feel free to reach out, and
I
we're here for you.
will.
We're
I
here
will.
for you.
I
We really
will.
appreciate you being on the show tonight. This was a really enlightening. We got to learn a lot about Calibr.
Thank you
So,
so much for inviting us. But listen, the best place until we do the tour, the best place to connect is in Calibr community. So when you go there, and you are communicating with Gwen, you're communicating with Janice, you're communicating with Phil. We are all in that community. It's us. We don't have assistants or anybody, and so that's the best place to connect. And I'm telling you, you're going to find some amazing people that you can identify with, connect with, and learn from.
awesome.
And I just want to add that if you want to follow Caliber magazine, you can do that on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter at Caliber Mag. That's your handle, right?
That is, and YouTube. Yep, yep.
And
And
Mhm.
YouTube.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, and
Yeah.
we're just getting all of our social channels started. So NAGA has all the members, and their social channels are huge, and 150, 200,000 people, and so we're getting ours started. So help us spread the word, and go follow. But you need to make sure that the next place you go to is community.calibermag.com
Mhm.
and join that community.
All right.
Awesome.
So thank you so much again for joining us. And I'll jump in because, I, have learned a lot, even though, I'm a member of NAGA and have my first issue. And so I've learned so much just from talking to you. And I know our viewers have as well. And
Thank
so,
you so much for having me here.
it's it was great, and I understand. I saw that you do have other um, appointments with other members. You're going to be on somebody's podcast and radio show, so I'm going to certainly tune in as well.
And make
Yeah.
sure you post the replay of this inside the Caliber community too,
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
for
Great.
Will
sure.
do. Will
Will
do.
do.
So, thanks again, Gwen, for joining us. And we will be sure to post it, and I'll send you the link, and then we can repost it
I
and
love it.
go from there. And maybe we'll have you back the next time, and we'll see you on the front of Essence Magazine.
Come
Yes.
on, right? So glad to be here, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. This has
Thank
been a
you so much
delight.
for being here again.
All
Thank
Take
you.
care.
right. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
That was awesome, Phyllis.
It
So,
was.
I appreciate I don't know, in the middle of the live, I think I lost link, but y'all kept it going. So that's what you
Yeah.
do, keep the party going.
Yes. I was like, phone, do not die.
Exactly. So this has been great. We'll post this on our social media platforms as
Yes.
well. And Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when we post new videos, you'll be the first to know. And that was very enlightening. So,
Yeah. We
what do we?
appreciate everybody for watching, everybody for your support. This was a special edition for us and we were so humbled to have Gwen on the show today. Just very exciting, very exciting. So
Yeah.
proud
So,
of you.
who do we have on for next week?
I believe next week is Family Ties 2A with Stephanie Marie. And we're getting ready for her all ladies handgun fundamentals training. It was scheduled for March the 19th, but we have moved the date forward to moved it to April the 2nd to give a few because a lot more people were saying I need a little more time to register. So before she closes registration, so we changed the date to April the 2nd. And then after that, you get prepared with your handgun training and fundamentals so that you can come out and compete in the Texas T, which is an all ladies handgun pistol competition, sponsored by the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. $50 entry fee is going to be out in Waxahachie, Texas at the ETTS. We're going to have us a ball, y'all. It's all ladies. We're going to let the guys sit back and watch, and we're going to show them how we do this 2A thing, how we run it, and we're gonna have us a ball and continue to learn and educate ourselves and teach each other and inspire one another. And we're just gonna keep doing this thing.
So yes,
Haven't got registered yet? Go ahead and get registered for either the handgun fundamentals and the competition, which is April the 17th, which is it is Easter Sunday and it's early in the morning, but we're gonna pray while we out there. So you come on out there and do the early sunrise
stop.
service and come on out there and change out your Easter, your Easter stuff, and come on out with us and run and gun and have a good time.
Okay, and also we have another upcoming event. I'm trying to pull that up. That um, Roe Brumfeld is in. That's his event. What do you know about that event?
Oh, in June, we have our annual Our Tribe Shot Expo. Guys, if you missed it last year, you missed something special. We are going to blow it out this year. We're going to have lots of vendors and lots of trainers and instructors. It's going to be held at the Frisco Gun Club, and they're letting us do it our way on our day. It's going to be a 2-day event. I believe it's June the 25th and June the 26th. So it's a Saturday and a Sunday. So if you have not joined the Our Tribe Facebook group, join Our Tribe Facebook group. We have a lot going on in the community, in and around the Dallas Fort Worth area and beyond. And get signed up, support us, and then you can follow us and see what we have going on. You can participate and join us in June for this Our Tribe Shot Expo. Last year, I was a part of it, and it was the most amazing 2 days ever. I mean, when I tell you, it was the same time as the NAGA convention last year. So we blacked it out. That's all I want to say. We blacked it out. We had
And
an amazing time.
you know what, Phyllis? I think this year you and I have agreed to live stream during
Yes, we are
the
going to
event,
live
the
stream our
Shot
podcast.
Expo. So
Yes.
we're going to live stream. So we'll be there. We'll be giving giveaways, and we have,
Mm-hmm.
I think, Professor Griff. Is that his name?
Yeah, Professor Griff may will be coming out, and he
And
usually
so,
he holds a class, but we'll have some local instructors and whatnot. Also, we have so many people that want to participate. So we're going to be inside the building and outside the building. We have food trucks, and everything is black-owned businesses. So come out and support. I mean, we had wig vendors, we had gun vendors, we had people with bath and body products, clothing. I mean, whatever you're looking for, we have it for you at this Shot Expo. And this year is going to be even bigger and better and badder than it was last year. If you miss it, you're going to be missing something special. You want at least 4 or 5 photos, in your feed showing that I was there, right? So
All
don't miss
right.
it.
Most deaf. So we'll certainly repost this because this was an awesome conversation. We'll get ready for Stephanie Marie next week, and then we're lining them up and knocking them down. So
Yeah.
we will see you guys next week on another live edition of Second Amendment Sis. You have a
Have a
good
good
one,
evening.
Phyllis.
Stay safe, love.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.